Rika, and this is ATC Presents Daebak K-Rambles, where a couple of friends review Korean dramas. Rico, say hi to Rico for us, like wherever you are, Rico. We wish you the best. We're still here, and I have a special guest with me today. It is Curtis from the Infatuasian Podcast. Hey, Curtis, how are you?
Hey, shout out Rico. What's up, Rico? What's up, Jess?
Thank you so much for coming on. I have been so excited to have you on and talk about this very special drama. We're going to be covering Startup. And I feel really bad because I asked you on to do this podcast like months ago. And you were like, yeah, I'm so excited. Let's do it. And then you started immediately watching Startup and I hadn't started it yet. And you were like, oh, my wife really likes it, blah, blah, blah. And like so excited about it. And I was like, Curtis, I can't have no time to watch it right now. It's going to have to be later. Like, save your thoughts. I'm so sorry. Like, we'll get to it. And now it's finally here.
Finally here.
So I don't know if people have listened to your podcast or not, but you have very special guests on your podcast. Like recently you had one of the voice actors from Pixar's Turning Red on your podcast, which was amazing. And you have other like very important Asian influencers and voices in the community on your podcast. So I just want to say that if you haven't listened to Infatuasian Podcast, please go and listen to them. They're amazing. And
thank you.
Just in case people don't know like who you are and where you come from, what your background is, we're going to run through quick fun facts with you right now. What your first K-drama is, your favorite K-dramas, and like what's your preferred K-drama genre.
All right. Yeah, I'm not a K-drama podcaster. I'm like you've had some heavy hitters, man. I've been listening to your show. You've had some of my favorites, you know. What is it? Afternoon of Delight and Butcher Playlist. Yeah, those are legendary K-drama podcasts. So I feel a little like imposter syndrome here.
Oh no, don't.
But you know what? I'm gonna stand up for all the guys out there who watch K-dramas. You know, I'm gonna represent our show. Yeah, our show is really more random, but we do a little K-drama. But just as a hobby, I like watching. So we chat quite a bit online. Yeah, just like you'll post something and I'll comment. So we've been talking K-dramas. But yeah, I don't go back that far. I go back to maybe 2015. So I'm a high school teacher, and so you know the kids. I teach at a school that's predominantly Asian here in San Francisco, and so the kids talk about it all the time. And I was like, what is this K-drama thing? You know, and so a kid, shout out to Karen, recommended a drama called I Remember You or Hello Monster in 2005.
Okay.
2015? Super random. Yeah, no, sorry, 2015. Not
okay.
Yeah, 2015. It's got Park Bo Gum is one of the guys in there, and so in so some pretty heavy, heavily stardomed guys, and so that was my first one, and I kind of liked it. You know, it's a little weird. You know, the first one you ever watch is like
it's like bizarre. It is. Yeah, culture shock.
But yeah, it got me in, and then I think you mentioned this last episode that 2016 was like all-time year, like legendary year. So all these great ones came out. So I just got hooked on those, and then that's when Netflix got in too, I think.
Yeah, around there, yeah.
Around there, and
that's around the time that maybe Drama Fever died.
Yeah, so it made it a lot easier.
Yeah, Netflix kind of picked up the slack.
Yeah, so I started watching, and then top 3, which I think you've done all 3 now. Well, no, you haven't done. I think you did My Mister.
Yeah.
Just now, and then last year you did Signal.
Yes.
So those are my all-time.
I mean, they're amazing. Those two are so good, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, you can't go wrong with those two. And then I like this one. I don't know if you've seen this one, I Am Not a Robot.
Okay, I freaking love that show. Love it. I think it's so underrated. People don't talk about I'm Not a Robot.
Because when you describe it, it sounds so dumb.
Stupid. Like you're like, oh yeah, there's like an AI robot and he thinks it's real, but it's a person.
And she's wearing a pink dress.
She's wearing a pink, like weird dress, and her hair is like a blunt, like fringe and like bad wig. Clearly a wig. And he falls in love with a robot. It's like you say it and you're like, this is a terrible elevator pitch for this drama, but believe me, it's amazing, right?
Well done.
Well done. Yeah.
Yeah. So I throw that in there just to spice it up a little. People give me a little grief for that one, but yeah. So I like kind of the more dark, more serious ones. I liked Move to Heaven,
yeah.
extracurricular. All of Us Are Dead. I got one for Rico. So Rico out there, there's one called Life on Mars. Have you ever heard of that one?
I have heard of it, but I haven't seen it. I think it's with...
It's the guy from Hospital Playlist.
Yes, the guy from Hospital Playlist.
With the glasses.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's a takeoff on a UK show, so it's a British show, and they redid it, and it came out right after Signal, and it's a lot like Signal.
Oh my God. Yeah, he'll love it because he ended up really liking Beyond Evil as well. And he was like, I don't have a lot of time. Maybe I can watch one show. And I was like, well, then watch Beyond Evil. So I'll tell him that he should watch Life on Mars, and then we can possibly review it on the podcast. He's still like,
it's hard to find though. It's not on Viki. Yeah, it's not on
dang. All right.
Netflix. But check it out if you can find it.
I'll figure it out.
dig deeper. Yeah.
Dig deep.
But yeah, so that's me. I mean, I'll watch a romance. You know, I liked Goblin.
Yeah.
But I like romances with a little extra, you know, we're going to talk a little while you were sleeping, you know, something with a little hook to it.
Okay.
So startup's not really my thing, to be honest. It wouldn't be one that I would say, oh, I got to watch that, you know.
Right.
But yeah, we'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it for sure. Okay. So recommendation for Rico and anybody who is a little bit into the more darker themes and darker K-drama genres, Life on Mars. And thank you so much for telling us your background in K-drama. I know it's a little tough because you don't come from a K-drama podcast, but I really appreciate your voice and how you have a different taste than people I think usually have. I think people fall into K-dramas mostly for the romance dramas. And that's how I fell in too. But in recent years, I've really branched out and tried to get out of my comfort zone. And I've ended up falling in love with a lot of like dramas that I wouldn't normally like and aren't really in my wheelhouse. But that's the fun of it. And that's the fun of this podcast too.
So fun.
Yeah.
Something for everyone.
Something for everyone. It's a vast... K-drama is not a genre. There's genres within K-drama. So remember that. All right. So housekeeping, if this is your first time listening, thank you so much for pressing play on our little podcast. We really appreciate it. If you can go ahead and subscribe on your favorite podcast app. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and all of them. And if you like us, please give us a review and a rating on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. That goes such a long way for other listeners to get involved and find us too and listen and become fans. And K-Ramblers, which I just named anybody who likes K-Rambles. I named you guys K-Ramblers. So come and check us out on social media. That's where I named you guys. You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at ATC Daebak Pod. And lastly, if you're a fan, please consider becoming a patron. It's a great way for you to get involved and show your support. You can check out the page on patreon.com/alwayscriticpod. All right, Curtis, we're ready to get started on Startup.
Let's do this.
You want to do the honors and read the Asian Wiki synopsis?
I would love to.
Yay.
All right, let's see. This is the synopsis of Startup. Needing to make $90,000 to open her own business, So Dal-mi drops out of university and takes up part-time work. She dreams of becoming someone like Steve Jobs. Nam Do-san is the founder of Samsung Tech. He is excellent with mathematics. He started Samsung Tech 2 years ago, but the company is not doing well. Somehow, Nam Do-san becomes So Dal-mi's first love. They cheer each other up and start to grow together.
Yeah. I don't know about that Asian Wiki synopsis. That sounds like kind of wrong, but it's okay.
Very vague.
Very vague as well. Props to Asian Wiki for giving like probably the worst and most vaguest synopsis. Anyway, Startup originally aired from October to December 2020. It is 16 episodes long, and you can currently watch it on Netflix. That's where we watched it. It was directed by Oh Chung-hwan, and he has also directed Hotel de Luna, While You Were Sleeping, Doctors, and My Love from the Star, one of the most iconic K-dramas. So it was also written by Park Hae-ryun, and she wrote While You Were Sleeping. So she's worked with the director before. Pinocchio, I Can Hear Your Voice, and Dream High, which also stars Bae Suzy, who is our main girl here. She plays So Dal-mi, and she was most recently in, well, not most recently, but before Startup, she was in Vagabond, and she was also in While You Were Sleeping, Uncontrollably Fond, Goo Family Book, and we just mentioned Dream High. Do you have like a favorite? There is a pattern. Do you have a favorite Suzy drama?
Yeah, you know what? I've only seen While You're Sleeping.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, wow,
okay. Of these 5. Well, I watched Vagabond. I watched maybe 4 episodes of Vagabond. It got a little weird.
It got a little weird.
It got super weird, super fast. Yeah.
No shade.
I was just kind of like, I don't know, man. But yeah, I really like While You're Sleeping. So I see that pattern that these 3 folks all have in common, that they all worked on While You're Sleeping. So I was ready to like this drama. I was ready to like Startup. So already going strong with this. These 3, the writer, director.
Yeah, for sure. I think that first saw her in Dream High. Definitely watched her in Gu Family Book, which is a fantastical saga. It's about like gumios and it's like got some supernatural stuff in it. Uncontrollably Fond in 2016, I definitely remember watching because it was like the melodrama of the year. It was so unbelievably sad. And then I just skipped While You Were Sleeping and skipped Vagabond. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's me and Suzy.
Dream High, though. Dream High,
bro. IU, Kim Seon-Ho, I think, was in there. Because he can sing. He's got like a voice of an angel. We don't really hear about that anymore, but he first started.
My wife said he can really sing.
He can really sing, yeah. And then Taecyeon was in it, Tech from 2PM.
Yeah.
Like, it was like all these artists. I can't remember if it's YG or JYP that like was all of his artists were in the show. But anyway.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know.
I keep mentioning Dream High. I hope people can find Dream High and watch it because it's like one of those dramas that's like apparently very formative for me.
Yeah.
In my K-drama watching, I like mention it on every podcast.
2011. So these guys were babies back then.
They were babies. They had like barely a career.
Years. Yeah. Cool.
Okay, so Startup also has Nam Joo-Hyuk as Nando-san. He, of course, had a very good 2022 so far with 2521, which stay tuned because the next episode is 2521 on Daebak. So we'll cover that pretty soon. You don't have to wait too long. Nam Joo-Hyuk was also in School Nurse Files. Completely skipped that one. Bride of Habaek, you should skip that one. It's terrible. Weightlifting Fairy Kim Bok-ju, iconic. One of the best K-dramas of all time, in my opinion. He was also in Moon Lovers, Scarlet Heart. Another 2016 show. He had a good 2016 because he had Moon Lovers and then Weightlifting Fairy.
Wow.
Yeah. And then he was in Cheese in the Trap, Who Are You? School 2015. I don't like how they have those like double names.
Yeah.
Like it should just be School 2015, but no, it's like Who Are You? School 2015.
Yeah.
I will say this. I first saw Nam Joo-Hyuk in this small little K-drama called Surplus Princess. And he played a really like nerdy guy. And kind of like a social outcast. Like he didn't have any friends. Like he was awkward. And I loved him in Surplus Princess as like this side character. Wasn't a starring role or anything. And it always stuck in my mind that he did so well on that. And people just consider him this like really cool guy. And like most of the dramas, he's playing like a pretty like decently cool person with like really outrageously good looking as well.
Okay, so I'm going to expose myself as the imposter that I am.
Okay.
I haven't seen any of these.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. You don't like there's no shame in not watching these K-dramas.
I wanted to watch Weightlifting Fairy and you have pushed me into definitely doing it.
It's good. Sure. It's basically a high school drama without the high school because they're in college. They're in like a sports college.
But yeah, so I came into this startup with no preconceived idea.
Wow, about Nam Joo-Hyuk.
Nam Joo-Hyuk, yeah. So.
Wow. Did you know he was a model or anything? Like, did you?
No, I knew he was a handsome young man, but I didn't know anything else about it.
I knew he was a handsome young man.
I mean.
That was good. That was funny. Okay, I like this because I want to know your thoughts on his acting, and we'll get to that in a minute.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And then, of course, Startup also has Kim Seon-Ho as Han Ji-pyong. He had a very good 2021 with Hometown Cha-Cha-Cha. He was in Catch the Ghost, Welcome to Waikiki 2, 100 Days My Prince, which I think everyone should watch that saga. It's a very good one. Two Cops, Strongest Delivery Man. And I think most people just know him from Hometown Cha-Cha-Cha because he made such a splash in that show.
Or did this one put him on the map? I mean,
I would say this one put him on the map because it was just before the year before Hometown Cha-Cha-Cha. And then people were so enamored with his second lead that when he finally got the starring role.
See, we got to talk about this. Was he second lead?
Don't do this yet. Homie,
all right, we'll get into it. All right,
we'll get into it. Hold back. Okay. So Kang Han-na is Won In-jae, and she's been in shows like Bloody Heart, My Roommate is a Gumio from 2021, Designated Survivor, Familiar Wife, Rain or Shine, Moon Lovers. She was in Moon Lovers as well. It's a bit of a team up here again with Moon Lovers cast. Yeah. So I think that's mainly our cast. We can get into other people as well. But I would say this is our main cast, these four. All this out of the way, Curtis, what did you think of Startup?
Ooh, we're just going to go right into it. Okay.
Like, we're done. Right. Like, it's time.
Yeah, okay. Let's do this. All right, I got an analogy for you. And I hope I don't offend anyone with this analogy. I consider Startup kind of like the Panda Express of K-dramas.
Express of K-dramas.
Okay, so let me get there. Okay, so I like Panda Express. I don't love Panda Express.
Gotcha.
But what I like about it is it's predictable. It's comforting. You know what you're gonna get. It's reliable. It fills you up. It's like you don't go there for fine cuisine. I'm not gonna take a date to Panda Express or anything like that. But you know what you're gonna get, and it makes you feel good after eating it. Mm-hmm. And so, I kind of consider this drama kind of like that, where I'm not mad at this drama. Did it change my life? No. But was it what? I had to put myself back in October 2020, height of the pandemic. Mm-hmm. We didn't know who the president of the United States was going to be.
Right.
We were in a weird place. Yeah. We didn't have a vaccine. People were dying. Remember? I cannot get the images of the refrigerator trucks outside of New York hospitals. That was scary times, man. It was really dark, and we were all at home. I'm a high school teacher, so we were teaching on Zoom, and we didn't know what was happening in the world. We didn't know if this was ever going to end. And so out of that darkness comes Suzy Bae's face, right?
Oh my God. Bae Suzy.
Out of the clouds.
Yeah, the nation's
Nam Joo-Hyuk,
girlfriend. Nam Joo-Hyuk.
Just coming out of the clouds, Oh. So, I'm going to give it a solid. So I should also say you're getting 2 for 1 here because my wife watched it with me.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give it a I'm going to give it a 3.25.
Okay, 3.25. Got you.
Soju bottles.
And
my wife would give it a solid 4.
Yeah.
So if you average us, we are 3.625.
You can't average the two.
Somewhere in the middle. Somewhere in the middle there. Okay. I mean, it's not great. It wasn't bad. It definitely was something that I didn't have to force myself to watch.
Right.
But it wasn't something that in 2020 that I actually levitated towards. So yeah, it's pretty solid. Definitely a solid watch.
I got you. Okay, so I'm probably going to disagree with you more often than not because I really loved this show. Okay. I have to apologize to Startup because when I saw it pop up on Netflix in late 2020, I was like, I'm not watching this show. I just immediately, it was a gut reaction to not watch Startup because I saw the name. I saw Bae Suzy, I saw Nam Joo-Hyuk, and I was like, not enough. I saw the plot, mostly because of the plot, right? Which seemed to be tech heavy, seemed to involve a lot of business and politics. And I was like, I am not, this is not where I'm at right now, headspace. And it just looked, not that it looked bad, but it didn't look particularly good to me.
Yeah, no, same.
So this was not my first choice to watch Startup, but I was like, let me give it a chance. I haven't seen it before. And I was pleasantly surprised. I found it very good, even from episode 1, where I thought that the setup of it was fantastic and that the whole machinations for how we ended up in the present day was very moving and touching. So, and then it was also all about pursuing your dream and your passion project. And it was glass half full, right? There's definitely characters in here that are glass half empty, but the overall vibe of the show is more positive toward pursuing your dreams and definitely starting that startup, Yeah. So I loved the drama. I loved the OST. I had no idea that I was already listening to the OST because as soon as a couple of these songs came up, like Future by Red Velvet. I was like, oh my God, I've already heard this song. It's so good. So I already loved it. And I would say my favorite song off the OST is Running from Gaho.
Yeah.
Really love that song. But every song on the OST, really good. Definitely one of the better OSTs that probably I don't think people necessarily associated with Startup. That's my opinion, but I think
you and my wife are like almost the same type of person because she loves romances.
Yeah.
And she loved this drama. Like 4 might be underselling it a little bit, you know, like she really liked it. And she's had the OST on repeat on her list. And she didn't know that she was listening to Startup songs.
There you go.
Yeah.
Same kind of feeling toward.
But this was both of our first times watching it. Just this year. Yeah. So
nice. Yeah. I clapped when the show ended. I was like, they really they wrapped up all the storylines. They did such a good job of kind of like. I clapped when it ended. I was like, damn, like that was a good show. Yeah, I was legitimately like riveted by it.
No,
and
you're not alone at all.
I think most of all, I found that the pacing of the show was so commendable. Sometimes you get that saggy middle. Sometimes you get a lot of like fat that they could have trimmed in a plot, and I thought this one they really nailed down what they wanted to say. And they went for it, and they were like really intentional with the time jump, really intentional with how these characters grow how they grew and changed, and that struck a chord with me because I like good writing and I'm a plot person, so that was a major plus for me watching this show.
All right, but the big question is...
Okay, go. What are you going to hit me with?
Are you team Nam Do-san?
Oh,
God. Are you team Good Boy?
So here's my thing. I haven't had a lot of time to ponder this question.
This is the question, though.
I know this question because I think this is one of the all-time second male leads in a K-drama. I feel like a lot of people harken back to Kim Seon-Ho as Ji-pyong in this show and be like, he didn't get the ending that he should have gotten as a second male lead. And then you have Hometown Cha-Cha-Cha, which is like the redeeming storyline where he's the lead and he gets the girl.
Yeah.
I would say that I was team Nam Do-san the whole time.
Yeah.
No question. I loved Nam Joo-Hyuk in this role. I thought that this was one of the better dramas that he's been in. I was on the fence on this is a conversation that I have with myself because there's no one to have it here. Like, you know,
right.
Rico doesn't know who this man is. So I, more often than not, err on the side of he is not a good actor. The only good acting that I had seen from him that I was like, wow, he's amazing, was weightlifting fairy Kim Bok-joo. And I was like, that's his only like street cred for acting. Like why do people keep casting him? Like, why is he on these top lists? Because I don't like really see the potential in the shows. Like I said, he was in a baby role for Surplus Princess, and I was like, oh, he plays like a really good nerd. And then they start casting him in these cool ass roles, and I was like confused because I'm like, he's a nerd. You know, he did so well in that role.
Yeah.
So this show comes along, and I'm like, I am sorry to Nam Joo-Hyuk because I thought he did really well playing again to this strength that I already see in him where he is a nerd at heart.
Yeah.
And I think recently he did an interview ahead of or after 25-21, and they asked him what was the role that he felt closest to, like as a person. Like, this is the role that I identify with as being, you know, me. And he said it was this role, Nam Do-san.
Okay.
He felt more like a nerd, less like the other roles like 25-21 or weightlifting fairy Kim Bok-joo, which is like, that was an athlete. And then the other one was, I won't spoil that one, but if you haven't watched 25-21. But I feel it. I feel that he kind of embodied that role, even in his little mannerisms. Like, he gets nervous and he's fiddling with his hands. He's looking everywhere but the person. He's trembling. That sort of thing really he nailed in Startup. So I felt that he was very strong as an actor in this role. And again, I have to say sorry to Nam Joo-Hyuk. I have to say sorry to Bae Suzy because I forgot. Every few years she comes out with a new drama and I'm like, ew, it's Bae Suzy. Like, what? She's just beautiful. Like, there's nothing else. And then I watch the show and I'm like, I'm sorry, Suzy. I think you're pretty good. Like, it is what it is. Like, I find that I err on the side of pretty privilege, where it's like they're just beautiful
Yeah.
people and they're just giving them like these large roles. But in this case, Nam Joo-Hyuk proved me wrong, and so did Suzy. Like Suzy did very, very well as well.
Yeah, see, yet again, you and my wife are the same person on this.
No
one.
way. She also loves him.
She's Team Dosan, yeah, from the get-go.
Okay, so tell me what I'm assuming that you're on Kim Seon-Ho's side. Ji-pyong.
Well, okay, I would be if he were written a little like from the writers. I think were Team Dosan, like clearly.
True.
Clearly, we don't want to spoil anything, but you from the first episode. I mean, from the second episode. But I really liked him first episode. And second episode, the good. I'm going to call him Good Boy.
It's Good Boy. Yeah, we'll call him Good Boy.
Okay, so first two episodes, he was great, and I was like, he's the lead, right? Because you're giving you all this background.
Because they really build him up as.
Yeah.
They fake you out because they give him
all the backstory.
All the backstory, all the usual attributes, the first love storyline, and all that stuff that you think, oh, he's going to end up with the girl.
Yeah, and then he kind of disappears in a way. He wasn't written. He wasn't a formidable as formidable as he could have been. I think he could have been a lot more formidable. We'll talk about that more. But yeah, so I'm a little bit on, as written, he wasn't that great. I'm not going to say I'm firmly on Team Good Boy, but yeah, I wanted him to be a little more in the fight at least.
Yeah, and they kind of touch on that too later in the show, that he's not quite as courageous as Nam Do-san is in terms of fighting for love.
So yeah, okay, so you don't have to defend that. I think that's not the bad choice.
I can say more why and spoilers for sure, but I would say that if you like Good Boy over Nam Do-san, I am interested to hear why. Like, is it just because Kim Seon-Ho is Kim Seon-Ho, or what was like? He was written pretty badly. It's like not badly written, but his personality and the way that he comports himself is like not very appealing.
That's what I mean. Is no contest. Once the drama started going, it really wasn't much of a contest. When it could have been.
When it could have been, like they could have backed up a bit and like
evened
out
spicy.
Yeah. Oh god. You're right. It could have been a real.
I think they didn't want. I didn't think they didn't want the second lead syndrome to get too heavy, but it did anyway.
It did anyway. Yeah, I think it did in a sense, especially when they start evening out the power play between them, and they start really being on the same footing.
Yeah.
Then you're
held him back. I felt like they held him back, man. They kind of handicapped him a little. He had, I think he had a better shot, to be honest.
Well, the thing is, they really, it was his game to lose. It truly was, because he had it from the start. It was home turf.
He did, yeah.
Anyway, for those who've watched the show, you get it. But like for those who don't, like, we'll just leave it at that. That's not, it's borderline spoiler, but we won't go into further detail.
Yeah.
Was there anything else that stood out to you about the show besides that you didn't like it as much as your wife and I did?
No, again, it's not like I didn't like it. It's just like you said, I didn't like it as much.
Is it because the love lines or the romance was a little more than you were comfortable with?
I like a little bit more plot, like stuff going on. Like after a while, like after episode, like up to episode 8 or 9, it was moving along really well. And then I thought the whole startup stuff, it's like, oh, are we going to build a autonomous car? That really wasn't interesting to me.
Oh, true. I agree with you to a certain extent that like that, the technical aspects that they kind of got into later on in the show were not I wasn't in the show watching for that.
Yeah. The stakes got really low. It wasn't like, and so I live in San Francisco, the center of startup territory, ground zero. And I like listening to stuff like that. So if you ever listen to a podcast called How I Built This,
I think I've heard of this one, yes.
Yeah, it's NPR, and he just walks people through their startup experience. And it's exciting and nail-biting. There's times when, when you're doing a startup that you just don't know. And then I thought that this just kind of forgot about that part of the show, a little bit.
Yeah, they play it safe in the latter half of the show. And it shows because there's like a time jump and they kind of change. Like the characters change and their approach to the business changes. And I think that shows in how they back off the intensity of going full full speed on one idea or one dream. So,
but it's a gorgeous looking show. I mean, the color, Netflix, right?
Netflix.
They just pour that Netflix money on it. They sprinkle the Netflix magical powder on there called money. And so like the whole set, the sandbox set looked real good.
Yeah.
There was like a neon. They had a sandbox cafe with a neon. Like they just built.
Yeah,
this
it
whole
looked
thing.
like a Google for startups.
Yeah, for real.
And they knew I feel like they knew the appeal of Google and this type of work environment, and they were like, "We'll just do it." Like, why wouldn't people want to come work at this place called Sandbox? You know?
So it looked like they did like some world building. Like they created a whole little world.
Yeah, it was
because that little island. Do you know anything about that island?
No, I don't know anything about. Do you know about that island?
It's just very little, but I think it's not a tech. They made it look like Silicon Valley's startup island, but it was actually closed during the pandemic. There's like cafes and parks and stuff on there. And so they had the whole place to themselves, I think, during the pandemic for filming.
Oh, okay.
And so they made it look like a really cool campus, and not to brag, but I have been to the Google campus.
Yeah.
I've been by the Apple campus down here. And it's like that, there's cafes for everyone to just have free food at and stuff. And people are good looking down there. There's all these 20-something-year-olds fresh out of college, everyone's fresh faced. And so they created this whole world, which I thought was really good.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say the best couple by far in this whole drama was Grandma and Good Boy.
Grandma and
they were the best. They had the best moments, I thought.
Oh man, yeah, you're right. They had the most emotionally intense moments between them.
Yeah.
And you're absolutely right that relationship is like crucial to the show.
Yeah.
That's good point. Yeah.
the real couple, the OTP,
the real couple is Grandma, G-Ma, and Good Boy.
Yeah. Harmony.
I would say that the three guys from Samsung Tech were great together. I love their camaraderie and the bromance between them and how they just kind of like, they just assumed that they were going to do everything together.
Yeah.
And I used to have relationships like that in my life where I was like, okay, where are we going? Like, everything was decided by like majority vote and stuff. And the fact that they just aligned their careers like that was pretty unique to me because even though I had relationships like that, I never adjusted my entire life around what we decided together to do if we were like working on something similar. Like my friends never even got in the same industry as I did. So it's interesting. I think it's a very weird relationship because I'm not sure if people actually live like that. Like in just K-drama world, this seems like it makes sense. But like, let's, spend our 3 years in like relative poverty together trying to do a startup. And like my friend's the CEO and like we live in this hot box rooftop apartment where the rent's cheap. We just smell barbecue all day long. And it seems to be like we're living the dream. We have all this freedom. And I'm like, I think after the first week or so of no AC, like I live in Florida, I would freaking leave. Like there would be no shot for Samsung Tech in my life.
I don't know how real, obviously a 3-person team doesn't really build a company usually. But yeah, no, there's long nights together from what I understand in the startup world. So it's not totally unrealistic. But it's cute. Yeah, it was a cute little we're in this together.
Yeah.
No matter what.
No matter what.
So that was kind of fun.
I think that I have to say that I would have bought the whole like we got to keep the team together aspect of startup better before the pandemic than I do now after the pandemic because I feel like people's perceptions of companies and businesses have completely changed after the pandemic and after these mass layoffs and furloughs, especially here in Orlando where we're in the theme park industry. And when the theme park shut down, like it was thousands and thousands of people who lost their jobs. Oh, wow. And so people, I feel like, especially here in Florida and Orlando, where tourism is like a huge aspect of our state, businesses are not like loyal and employees are now learning there's no sense in being loyal to a company. And so now I'm like watching Startup and I'm like, this is like an idyllic utopian sort of company where it really does feel like family. I'm using air quotes here. And they want to stay working together like at all costs, and money isn't an issue. And like, it's very beautiful and idyllic. And you're saying like beautiful colors. And I'm like, yeah, it looked beautiful. Like they painted this beautifully. But in reality, like I am more of a glass half empty person now, post pandemic. And it kind of soured a little bit of the show for me. Not all of it, because of course I just said I love the show. I do. But I think that it's fake. Like I can't like buy in completely. I'm like, this is a beautiful fantasy.
Yeah. You know what though? Out here, in the tech industry, everyone just went home and it was fine.
Yeah.
So
I
a
can
lot of people,
understand that.
I have friends at Apple, friends at Google. They're like, oh, we're perfectly fine at home. We do everything on computers anyway. So they did okay. They did okay. I could see a startup struggling, because they do need to do a little more face-to-face meetings and whatnot. But yeah, I don't know. I think it could have happened in 2020. Like a small company could have held it together and held on to its people maybe. But it's just crazy money out here too, though. So people, the dream of startups is that you're gonna get bought and your tech is gonna be so good.
High risk, high gain.
Yeah, no, I have friends. I'm older than you, and I have friends in their late 40s and early 50s who aren't working anymore because they hit that
the jackpot
payday.
Yeah.
So it's a real thing. I mean, it's a thing that you could have a 39-year-old on a yacht. You could have.
Oh my God, we have to talk about that. I was had that in my notes, like to ask you because you're in San Francisco, and I was like, homie, what is this like lifestyle that they're leading over there? Is that legitimate?
Well, let me tell you about my yacht. No.
I would book a flight so fast. I'd be like, can I rent the yacht? I have to tell you this, and this is like a stupid pipe dream of mine, but we go on a family vacation every year. And last year was a beach vacation. And on the last day of the beach vacation, I was like, we got to level up. Like, we got to stop renting these like mansions. We have to do like a yacht vacation. Like, let's rent a yacht for like a couple of weeks and just sail around. And like, it'll have the private chef. We don't have to worry about nothing. And then I looked into renting a yacht, right? Homie, it was like $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 to rent a yacht for like just a week. Yeah, because it comes with a crew. You got to pay for the gas, all this stuff. It was an exorbitant amount of money. And I was like, shocked because it was such a like moment for me to like come down and be like, I can't do that. Like I literally have no means to do this right now. Or maybe ever, because it is so like you need to get how many people to like offset and then like split the cost. And it would just be like a really stupid expensive vacation.
Well, I'll tell you a story. So my high school where I teach at has a parking lot, and we're right by Ghirardelli Square, Fisherman's Wharf area. So we're right in that area, and so I can see the bay from where I work.
Yeah.
And so, you ever heard of Larry Ellison? He started Oracle. So Oracle's like a business to business place. So super rich guy. He's one of those yacht guys. He funded the America's Cup team. He had his Oracle boat. Oh my goodness. And so the year that he had won the America's Cup, the year before his team won, they had a big party, but it was also Fleet Week where the Navy comes to town. And so parking was crazy. So he called us up and said, hey, can I use your parking lot? And I'll give you whatever, $20,000 for the day,
for the day.
to be able to park people in the parking lot, and I'll shuttle them to the San Francisco Yacht Club so we can watch the America's Cup from my yacht. So there's that kind of money out here, man. Like I do not have a yacht, but there is yacht money out here.
Yeah. I mean, there's yacht money in Florida too. And
oh yeah.
Not to be this person, but like we rented a boat a few weeks ago when we were down in Miami, and like we were just in the coastal waters there. And like, honestly, the amount of money that's just on the water, not to mention the houses that are on the water, but like just the yachts. And like we had the boat driver was like telling us how much these yachts cost. And he was like, well, it could cost this much, but really it matters what's inside the yacht, because then it could be $20-30 million. Like, it doesn't matter what it looks like on the outside. It's like, what matters? What's on the inside? And it like blew my mind, right?
It is. It's crazy.
Anyway, like, that's a whole tangent of like yachts and yacht life.
Welcome to Yacht Rambles.
Yacht Rambles. Hit me up if you have a yacht that you can rent for like, I don't know, cheap. Anyway.
All right, let's get into
it. I think we're ready for spoilers. Are you?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay. Spoiler section coming right up.
Excuse me, 뭐라고?
괜찮아.
You know, I have no 친구. Oh, sorry.
Swear, disgusting shit.
What?
All right, Curtis, we're on the other side of spoilers, so anything goes. Where do you want to start?
Let's start. Should we start with the first 2 episodes?
Let's start with the first 2 episodes because I did say that I really liked the first episode.
They were so good.
They were amazing episodes, some of the best at first couple of episodes in K-drama that I've seen because I truly thought that it was going to be more technical, more business oriented, and certainly was in the later episodes. But the first 2 episodes were about human connections, familial problems, and it just was like a sliding doors situation with the sisters choosing a parent to live with, the older sister being super cruel about saying thank you for showing me what I missed in my life because it seems like you've fallen on hard times and I stayed with mom and she married a rich man. So like it was very much an emotional roller coaster for me. I thought the flashback scenes of the family breaking up, the dad hustling to get investors for the biz, the letters between Dosan, or not Dosan, but Good Boy and Suzy. It's just really good fodder for K-drama.
Yeah, no, it had everything, right?
It did.
You got a parent dying, classic, right?
Oh, he gets run over, and you're just like, oh, there it is.
There it is. Which, plays in later when they do the autonomous car, and she says, if we had the safety features, my dad would still be here.
Yeah.
So that was kind of I didn't see that coming when they did the autonomous car. I was like, what? That's silly. But then she gave her reason why. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. It would help my grandmother who's going blind, and it would have helped my dad, avoid such an accident. Yeah.
But yeah, so episode 1 and 2, it was Good Boy show, man. It was the Good Boy show, basically.
It was his game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that was really great. You know what I wanted more is I wanted to know what's in those dang letters, man.
Oh, yeah.
Because she fell in love with him.
She fell in love with him
15
immediately.
Years.
It was her first love, and she couldn't get over it.
For 15 years.
He was the measuring stick against which she measured every other guy in her life.
Exactly.
And no other guy measured up. Like, he was just so perfect on paper.
Yeah, and they only gave like 1 or 2 snippets, like, oh, you're my music box or whatever, but they didn't, what did he write? What was this kid, man?
And he seemed to be doing, it was like a group project with him and Jima.
Yeah.
And so, like, what the heck were they telling this girl that like made her want to, first of all, changed her depression because she was falling into a deep depression after like her family imploded.
Yeah.
So the grandma was like, oh, we have to cheer her up somehow. She needs a friend.
Yeah.
And like, what the hell were they telling this little girl?
Right?
What could they possibly say?
And there was a stack of them,
Yeah,
like,
it was like a whole thing. Yeah.
So it kind of, I like a good Cyrano de Bergerac story where you have kind of like this guy and he's writing these letters. And I thought that's where they were going. Because
you're right to invoke Cyrano, though.
Right?
Because
the first episode.
Wow, you just blew my mind invoking Cyrano because that's exactly.
Because Nam Do-san was like a hapless,
exactly
no social skills.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And they had this one scene where Good Boy was like, okay, text her this, because he was going to text her something else. And he had no ability to flirt with her.
Yeah.
And I thought it was going to go Cyrano de Bergerac, where he was going to help Do-san.
Yeah.
And he did. He lent his car and clothes and his house and stuff. So I thought it was going to be a classic case where the real guy was the guy behind the guy.
Yeah.
And he could and at the end there was going to be like a reveal where it's like, oh, the guy you really love all this time is not the pretty face. Well, they're both handsome.
But they're both beautiful.
Yeah,
we'll
it
just
wasn't
leave
like
that
one
at the
was
door. Yeah.
Yeah, one wasn't like a gruesome guy. So they're both handsome, but yeah, I was waiting for that reveal at the end where it was going to be like, oh, the guy that you love from the letters and the guy you love actually who was helping Do-san this whole time was actually a good boy. But then they dropped it.
They dropped it. Yeah.
I was kind of interested. Yeah, why'd they do that?
Yeah, they really set up the good boy to be the winner and not to be like this is a game, but I think that they psyched the audience out because they did that.
Total psych out.
It was a psych out because they gave him the first love, they gave him the letters, they gave him all this backstory that he's her first love and she doesn't know it, and you're just like waiting for the other shoe to drop and her to be like, oh, I really like this guy instead. It's not Nam Do-san, it's Han Ji-pyong.
Because literally he was like, what do you like about me? She has nice big hands.
Let's talk about that scene because I have that in my notes from episode 4. And I was very distraught by this scene because he so earnestly asks her, what do you like about me? And she says that, oh, you're my first love. Oh, your letters brought me so much comfort. Yeah. You've grown up to be so cool. And like, it's like hit after hit, right? Like strike
She's
after
talking
strike.
about good boy.
She's talking about good boy.
Yeah.
And then finally he's like, but what do you like about me? He keeps asking her the same question and expecting a different answer. And she finally says, oh, it's because you have big hands. And he's like, the fuck? Like, what?
It's like lame. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. So
it's
they
heartbreaking. And they set it up as you're like, she doesn't like him. It's evident in episode 4.
She clearly likes good boy.
She likes good boy. And yeah, it was very sad for him to be going throughout the show trying to live up to this very rich past that she had with good boy and do better and try and woo her in ways that Han Ji-pyong can't or won't because he's a coward.
Yeah.
So the big hands combo in episode 4 was very heartbreaking to me. And then he plays it so well, like Nam Joo-Hyuk played it so well because he's quietly devastated.
Yeah.
In front of her.
No, he was good. I thought he was good. Because again, I've never seen him before. And, at first you go, oh, yeah, he's handsome. But then, yeah, he can act.
He's got some chops here. And again, he's not to a level that I'm like, yeah, I bought stocks in Nam Joo-Hyuk. I'll just watch anything that he's in because I'm not there yet. But I think that he's pretty great in this show, especially.
Okay, so besides, so what is it about him that you like? I can,
Okay, sure, I can elaborate. So you want me to elaborate on
what did he do that would make Suzy, besides being a genius and saving her a couple times?
Besides being a genius, besides being very generous with his time and being essential to the business, I think that he is just so kind and just has a beautiful soul about him. I don't think that he was malicious in any way. And I think that good boy came off super malicious and mean-spirited for the majority of the show. And that comes back to bite him because you have this whole subplot of like he possibly drove a kid to suicide with his biting criticism. And I think he kind of realizes the error of his ways after that. And he starts to change. He doesn't change too much. It's not a complete 180 where he's like actually going head to toe with Nam Do-san, but I think that he kind of backs off about, especially giving so much criticism that comes across as being not even criticism. Like it's not done from a place of love. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
he's rough. Yeah, it's definitely rough.
He's abrasive. I mean, he gives you bad news with like a really condescending smile on his face, and he just is like a smug dude.
Yeah, but behind the scenes, we all know he's a nice guy.
He's a nice guy behind the scenes. Like it's weird that
the writers did him dirty.
The writers did him so dirty, bro, because you know that he wants to be loved. Like that's his thing. That's why he gravitates toward Jima, is because he never had a family. He's an orphan, and this old grandmother like took him in and like helped him get on his feet after he was basically thrust into the real world with barely any money, no adulthood to kind of help him along. So he couldn't even get a bank account, and he was struggling. He was out on the streets. He had nowhere to go. So I think that relationship was so crucial to him, and he not only fell in love with Sodami, but he fell in love with her family as well, and having this family unit that he never had before.
Yeah.
So it's very sad that they did him so dirty and wrote him so mean.
They did,
They wrote him so mean. And like Nando-san is over here like knitting when he's angry. Like
no, I agree.
You can't help but like really love this kid because he's just so like endearing and charming. Like inadvertently
my wife,
charming.
He's just super nice. He's nice to grandma, doing the tech for her to see.
Yeah.
Like he's a nice guy. And his dream was, after a while, it wasn't even to start a company anymore. It was just to help Dami out. His whole dream was,
I think that his startup dream that he wrote down was that I want to make a misunderstanding, real or something like that. He wanted it to be turned around. Like this whole situation, this whole Cyrano situation that we have here, I wanted to like actually benefit me and us in this relationship.
Yeah.
Instead of like blow up in my face and be a negative.
Yeah.
And then he kept saying like that she was his dream, right? Too. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. So I see that, but
like
I guess
there was no other option. Like for him, it was her or nothing. And he said at the end of the show, he was like, "Yeah, I'll love her forever, even if she doesn't love me back." And I was like, "Oh God."
He didn't care about money.
Yeah.
But I guess I just didn't see the total connection where it was like, I could see why Dami would totally fall for him. I guess he's just super nice. He's just nice.
He's just wonderful to her. And I think that she ended up falling for him very, very slowly, like after the fact, after like the shit hit the fan, essentially. And she finds out that Good Boy is actually Do-san and was writing the letters. She like really had to reconcile the two guys, what they each are really doing. And who she really fell in love with. So it was interesting. I wish we had more of that and more of her actually working it out. You know, you kind of get the fact that she's like staying up nights and is really tortured by this decision and by, which guy should she kind of invest in, to use startup terms.
Yeah.
And Nando-san doesn't put any pressure on her either, which I find very appealing. Because I want to get away from, he's the nice guy should get the girl. I don't believe that. Like that is, I feel like, getting into toxic masculinity in a sense where like, I have bought you dinner, so you owe me. Like I'm a nice guy, so like you should like me back. And no, that's not the case at all. I don't want that to get confused with like, Nando-san is a nice guy, so he should get the girl. That's not the case. I feel like they were very smart in the latter half of the show to have him not put any pressure on Sodami and he really backed off, was not like wooing her in any strict sense. And it was only when Good Boy was like, "Get your head out of your ass, she loves you." Yeah. That he went after her and was like, asked her the same question from episode 4, was like, "Why do you like me?" Yeah. And she ends up just giving this vague answer. I wish she went into detail, because before she did, she was like, this, X, Y, Z. This time she was like, "It's because it's you. Yeah. Do I need a better reason? It's just you." Which is very romantic on paper, but like
that's cheap though. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cheap shot. Like she got out of answering the question for sure.
Yeah. Let's go back to episode 9, the birdhouse outside of the old corn dog shop, where there's one more letter in the birdhouse, and Good Boy rushes over there to get it, and somehow, I forget how, but Suzy figured it out, and she shows up there. That was right in the middle of this whole thing, and that was such a pivotal moment, and then it didn't turn into anything.
Yeah, she ended up being very like depressed for a bit and was very sad. I don't want to say depressed. I think she was just very sad and hurt.
Super confused,
Confused, especially because she doesn't know like who to trust. Yeah. These two guys have been in her life for the past few months during a high stress time. Yeah. And they've both been invaluable in different ways. And now like their identity is in question.
Yeah. That would have been super spicy though, right? That moment she's like calling Do-san on the phone, like, "Tell me, I forget what color pen you used on this thing or whatever. Like, can you tell me where I hid the letters?" She was like, "Tell me where you hid the letters." And he's like,
Yeah.
She says, tell me right now. Just tell. She's crying.
Yeah.
And good boy's crying. Everyone's crying. Everyone is crying. And it was just kind of like, tell me, just say it. Why don't you know this? You should know this. And then that would have been spicy if they shifted it. What if they shifted it to good boy at that point where she's like, you're the guy behind the guy this whole time?
Yeah, they could have written a little more
interesting.
twisty bits for the romance in that spot. But I think they were missing like a showdown between her and Jima, because Jima gets off scot-free to me.
Basically.
To me,
But I mean,
she unleashes hell on the guys, but doesn't really confront or talk about the situation with her grandma ever. And the grandma was the impetus for the whole
She
thing
knew
happening.
the whole
She was the
time.
grand master, the mastermind behind the whole plot
Yeah.
with the letters. So I was like, I'm missing this, like, not showdown necessarily, but I did feel like there should have been a point where she confronts the grandmother about like why she did this. How could you let it go on for so long? What were the guys thinking? And like talk to her about the situation. She never does. And that really bothered me.
Yeah.
Episode 9 also has like this whole concept of low self-esteem with Namdo-san, where they get into like the backstory of him winning the mathlon or the
imposter,
mathematics competition and actually cheating on one of the questions. And then him being like having low self-esteem for the rest of his life, and him feeling like any chances for him to get a leg up, like pure luck, is actually just a curse in disguise. A curse disguised as a blessing, because he feels like an imposter. So there's like imposter syndrome in there as well, feeling guilty for cheating and lying. And to me, that was also a positive for his character, because it just showed that he had such a pure heart and he really was suffering from lying to Soldami all this time.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, I think they wrote it well enough for him. I just wanted a little...
They didn't
stronger
have
line.
some sort of redeeming aspect about Good Boy that could have played into the romance, like you said, where in this case, the lie is revealed and like Good Boy is just like calling Jima, like, how is she doing? Is she all right? Like there was no like...
He could have stepped up. Yeah.
He definitely could have stepped up.
Homie had 3 years. He had 3
That's the thing. Okay. So that's the major thing, is that he had 3 years,
shoot his
no
shot.
competition to shoot his shot with Soldami, and he never does.
And then the day he's thinking of doing it,
He comes back.
shows up in the elevator.
He comes
Come
back to
on,
town.
man.
1-800 you thought. No. That was such a bad plan to like
Weak.
3 years.
Yeah, that was kind of weird. It was kind of like you had all this time, and that was again your game to lose. Home court advantage. You've got all the money, you've got all the position, you got the letters.
Yeah.
She
they even
already loves you.
They covered this too in that very same episode, episode 9, where the boys sleep over at Soldami's house because they get drunk. And they start comparing each other's like merits and good qualities. And Good Boy seemingly has everything. He's rich, successful. He's got all these good qualities to him. And then that's what Nando-san is talking. He's like, you have everything and I have nothing.
Yeah.
And Good Boy says that he has that one thing. And the one thing is her in this case.
Yeah.
And yet Nando-san says you want to take that away as well. The one thing that I have. And it reminded me, and this might be just because I watched this movie recently, but it reminded me of the movie Count of Monte Cristo, which is obviously based on the book by Alexandre Dumas, which doesn't have this storyline in it at all. So that's why I say the movie Count of Monte Cristo, where there's this jealousy storyline between the man who has nothing, the man with nothing who finds joy in everything, and the man who has everything but finds joy in nothing.
Nothing, yeah.
And it's very similar between these two characters as well, where like Good Boy like has everything but is very unsatisfied with his life. He doesn't have a family, first and foremost, and he doesn't really have Soldami either, like the love of his life now that he realizes it. And Nando-san does have those two things. Like he has the girl, for the most part of the show. And he has a wonderful family who supports him. Sometimes they're a little mean to him, but they support him.
they're alive. At least.
And he has friends. Good Boy has no friends. So like, I think there's a point being made in the show that money can't buy you happiness, and money can't buy you really important, lasting relationships in your life.
Okay. Yeah.
Clearly
with the sister, and the mom who married out of poverty to get rich.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so there's that theme.
I got really upset with the sister, Inje, when she lied about being the Sandbox inspiration.
Really?
I don't know why, but that
bothered you.
rubbed me so wrong, because the whole time she's trying to do things on her own. She's trying to be independent, trying to get away from her like asshole stepdad who like took her out of the CEO position, like tried to muscle her out of her own company that she started. And she's trying to be different, do things differently, start her own company. And still she decides to lie about like being the inspiration for the Sandbox logo and the company itself. And it felt so backward to have her like be redeemed at the end. It felt good. Like obviously, like I'm like, okay, the sisters have reconciled, but at the end of the day, I'm still like, she's
still a bad person.
Dirty. Like she was playing dirty more than half the time. And
changing your name doesn't change that.
Changing your name doesn't change what you did.
Cutting your hair and changing your name.
Yeah, like she was like cutting her hair, like trying to make a statement. And I'm like, babe, like you still got the baggage.
Yeah, she had kind of a weak. I wanted more from her too. Like she was an interesting character.
Absolutely. I think that they wrapped her story up okay, like bare minimum, because her hang up was she felt like she didn't have a place of belonging. She thought that she made a good choice in moving in with her mom and then becoming basically a tribal by marriage.
Yeah.
And then she decides that she wants to change her name after like the fallout. And her deal was she didn't want to go see the grandmother because she felt at the end they give this reason that she felt bad because she didn't have the same last name, which I find kind of like a deeper thing that they didn't explore at all. The power of names and clans, especially because in the paperwork, it said something about like you can come back to the clan. So, and
but she could have done that 6 months ago.
That was that was dumb to me because then you're talking years that she never went to see the grandmother, and they were telling her grandma's going blind.
Yeah.
You should go see her so that she can see you right now when she can. And still she decides, no, I'm going to wait until my name changes like permanent.
Yeah.
I just thought it was, I don't know.
That wasn't great. Yeah, she just kind of didn't do a whole lot.
Yeah.
She tried. Yeah, she was kind of nicer to Suzy later on, but she didn't like totally redeem herself by saving Suzy from something.
Yeah, and she kept like throwing her like bad eggs and throwing her to morning group, which was her stepdad's company, and like causing issues and just being like a terrible person, saying really mean things to her. The things like you don't say, like you chose wrong. Thank you for showing me like why I didn't choose to go with dad, and like all this like really cruel stuff. She was cruel. Yeah. Yeah.
The other side characters didn't have much to do either. You know, they had that other little love story, the guy from Crash Landing on You.
Yeah, from the Crash Landing crew.
Yeah, it's just I didn't need that, to be honest. I mean,
really? Because I really like that storyline.
Okay.
I like it when I guess the nerd who has no game gets the girl, mostly because she, in that case, I feel like she really did develop feelings for him, and it wasn't like a sudden thing that all of a sudden she's like into him.
Yeah.
It was like decent. I mean, they could have even gotten more screen time, although I don't know if they ever would have done that. Like in K-drama world, I can't see like a third couple, like a, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying I want less of that. I guess it didn't do much for me.
Got you. Yeah.
But
his like weird laugh was funny too, because he would do like that breathing laugh. He was like, like he would like do that to laugh.
Yeah.
It was just like he. I don't know, man. Like I just felt bad for the guy.
Yeah, but he ended up okay at the end.
Yeah, he did.
So most of the arcs were fine.
Yeah, I think episode 12 was the most brutal episode because that's when they get their asses handed to them by that other Silicon Valley conglomerate company that comes and buys up their company, Samsung Tech.
Yeah.
And to me, this was the equivalent of like Avengers Infinity War. Like the band is broken up and the couples have crashed and burned. She gives back the baseball and breaks up with him, saying she isn't his dream. And he wanders around in the rain on his birthday. No rainbow appears in the sky. Like, it's very emotional to me. I thought their breakup, Sodami and Namdo-san, their breakup was one of the worst breakups.
Really? Okay.
In K-drama. It was very just... especially his reaction to her telling him all this stuff that she doesn't mean. Like, evidently she doesn't mean all this stuff, but she decides like I have to cut him loose so that he can like go to San Francisco and live out this dream of being like in Silicon Valley and actually like getting a little bit of reward for his hard work and all of his talents, because he wasn't necessarily reaping the benefits of being this genius developer. With Samsung Tech. So
but have they not heard of Skype or
that's
long distance
thing.
relationship?
That is my thing, is that I don't mind like you telling him go to San Francisco, there's nothing we can do, like we really effed up on this one, just if you can't beat him, join him, just go to California. But I don't understand why she broke up with him so brutally. Like she was brutal to him. And like gives back the baseball, like that was like that said follow your dreams on it, like their dreams are dead. Like it was
I
like
am not your dream.
Oh my god! Like and then he's again like super devastated. I don't think I could have forgiven her for that, and he doesn't. Like initially, he's like, I just don't want to see you anymore. Like I can't keep doing this like with you because it's crazy. So that was brutal. And then episode 13. You have the time jump of 3 years.
Right.
And this is where we get that the boys are doing really well in Silicon Valley.
On the yacht.
On the yacht.
Sipping
Live
wine.
Streaming. And that she's the CEO of like the subsidiary company to her sister Inje, her sister's company, Inje.
Yeah.
And then the self-driving car promo and all that crap. And to me, that was the equivalent of Avengers Endgame, where like everybody comes back together back in Korea. Yeah, so it was a bit of like an on your left sort of situation with them pulling a Hail Mary to get back all that hacked information. Like they got hacked right before like a showcase or something, and that was
who will save the day?
Who will save the day? Yeah, it's Nando-san. Like he turns up and obviously saves her.
Yeah.
I wasn't into the whole self-driving car, like you said. Like you were like, I don't care about the car. Yeah, I didn't either until she named the car Tarzan.
Yeah.
And then she says, I know. Everyone's like, why'd you name the car Tarzan? Like, it's a funky name, right? And she goes, I named it Tarzan because of the Tarzan and Jane analogy to explain machine learning from back when they first met.
Yeah.
And that was so good to me. I was like, ooh, that's good writing. Like, that's good to bring it back to that conversation. Because that wasn't a situation where she was mistaking him for Han Ji-pyong, good boy.
Finally,
that was pure
him.
Namdo-san, right?
Yeah.
That moment was pure Namdo-san. So I was like, oh, like it's a good sign that she is placing so much value on that interaction. And you didn't think necessarily that she was like listening that well. Like she was like into it, but not so much that she was like having an emotional connection to like this Tarzan and Jane story that he tells.
But here's the connection.
Yeah, it was good.
So here's a question, just a kind of a general question about Suzy.
Okay.
I cannot watch a Suzy drama without thinking, oh, that's Suzy.
Yeah. I think that's the problem. I think
she
that's
doesn't
the
become
problem.
the character. It's
the
just
problem
Suzy Bae.
is I see Suzy. I don't see necessarily Sodalmi, and I'm like lost in this role.
Yeah. Versus like IU and my Mr.
Yeah,
unrecognizable.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't notice her at all.
Yeah,
like, you don't. Yeah.
I think you have a
with
point.
Suzy Bae, you can't. And I think the writers get lulled into that. They don't make her very complex. And because they're like, oh, she's so beautiful and everyone loves her so much. She's the nation's first love, that we don't have to make her very complex because people will watch because it's Suzy.
Right. Like she's a bankable star.
Yeah, because I wanted her to save the company somehow, like, yeah, she walked a few miles to get some investors, or whatever. Like she did a little bit, but I mean, you or I could CEO that company, to be honest. Right? Like, what did Suzy really do?
Yeah, she's learning on the go,
Yeah.
and I get that she can give a mean presentation.
Yeah,
but
okay.
yeah, I guess she had more of like the vision aspect, like where can we point this gun, so to speak. And she was like, okay, well, we can use AI for this and that. And I was doing research and we can do that. And she seemed to be a little more proactive and like a vision maker. Like she's creating mission statements for the company and really driving the investor portion and like the behind the scenes stuff and business proposals and all that crap.
I mean, she didn't do nothing, but I just wanted her to be a hero somehow.
I got you. You wanted her to have a hero moment.
She's always the damsel. Yeah. She's always the damsel.
I
and
agree
every
with
show
you.
she's been in, she needs saving.
I agree with you.
And it's like, for once, Suzy, do something that no one else could do, Like, do something that none of the boys could do.
I would say that the only part that I was like, oh, damn, she really pulled one on the boys was when she recorded that conversation with the Morningstar CEO.
Okay, all right.
And she had this like blackmail recording of like this heinous, disrespectful meeting. And she came to battle. She was like, I can basically ruin your company reputation with this audio. Why don't you just give us this budget that you would have normally given to saving your company's ass? And like, we can call it even. And I was like, damn, that was like the one moment where I was like, she really got a moment.
All right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Cause like this, the startups that I've heard of, the CEO often has to pull something out of their hat. They have to do some magic to save the company. And I guess I just didn't see her with the killer move, that no one else could have done to save the company. But she's perfectly, like, she's the orange chicken. She's orange chicken at Panda Express, right? She's great. Everyone loves her. Very
crowd fave.
Very comforting. Yeah. But
yeah. I would say that she's good on paper. She really is. Like Bae Suzy, I think she can act, but I don't think that she has that appeal where she's getting so immersed and lost in the role that you can't see her celebrity.
Yeah, it's hard to separate.
Yeah, the Bae Suzy aspect completely overshadows pretty much every role that she's in because you're like, oh shit, it's Bae Suzy. Like every time you're looking at the screen. So I think that's a problem to be. And then she's not, I would say she is kind of typecast as well because she has never been a villain. She's never been, second lead. She's never, just
in Vagabond, she was supposed to be like an agent, right? Like she had some skills, but then she kept needing saving. Like she always needed saving, and I wanted her for once to just kind of save the day.
Yeah, for sure. I did like that they kind of, like I said before spoilers, that they gave some arcs to these characters, and for Bae Suzy Sodalmi, she became less reckless over the course of that time jump, which was a good change. And it takes Nam Do-san, who over the time jump became a lot more assertive and kind of less timid. It took him saying, we should do this thing. Like, I know it seems impossible, but we should just do it anyway.
Yeah.
For her to kind of get back into these old habits of, to take a term that I think people might not recognize where it's from, but like gazelle intensity.
Okay.
Which is a, I forget his name, but he's like a finance guru.
Okay.
I forget his name. Dave Ramsey.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Dave Ramsey says, like, basically you want to get out of debt with gazelle intensity. Like you're being chased by a predator.
For your life.
And in this case, I think that she had that gazelle intensity in the first half of the show when like there was a lot on the line. You said before that the stakes were extremely high, and after the time jump, is like slowed down a lot. Like she's in a comfortable place.
Yeah.
And she isn't that reckless anymore. And she's not like running toward the finish line with reckless abandon and making snap decisions that, like I said before, like high risk, high gain. Like they're not really, she's not taking that initiative. So that was like annoying, but also like kind of believable. And I like that it was like a clear difference between the two Soldamis, like from 3 years prior and then present day.
Yeah.
I think that one of my favorite aspects of the show is that the guys dressed infinitely more high fashion after the time jump.
Yeah.
Like I was like, what are these turtlenecks and blazers? Like it was like, like I loved the fits from after the time jump. Not that I don't like a good flannel, but like they definitely kicked up their style game.
Yeah. You want to talk a little product placement?
Let's talk product placement because I saw it was Desker was one for the
Mercedes.
the standing desk.
Yeah.
and
here's one.
Yeah.
I heard someone rant about this. Dior. Her hand. Suzy Bae was coloring her markers with the Sharpie. I mean, coloring her high heels with a Sharpie marker while carrying a $5,000 Dior bag.
Was the bag $5,000?
Yeah. Someone looked it up, and she throws it on the ground, like she drops it on the ground, and people are freaking out. They're like, "You just dropped a $5,000."
Oh my God, I had no idea. I'm so bad with like recognizing purses, brands purses and stuff.
Yeah, I would have never seen that, but someone was ranting that she's carrying like $20,000 versus of handbags in this show. Like, she's struggling to put food on the table.
Shocked. Yeah, no, she's like struggling. She's like real, like, oh my God,
minimum wage at a corn dog shop.
Yeah,
and so eagle-eyed people pointed that out. That
of
Dior,
course.
She's a Dior representative.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think she has a deal with them. But wow.
Yes. So yeah, notice the handbags next time you watch it.
Damn. Yeah, that's
Mercedes
busted.
Benz. Everyone's driving Mercedes.
Everyone's driving Mercedes in every color: red, yellow, black.
But yeah, the close up on the Desker button,
every time they freaking put their hand on the desk, I was like, oh my God, I get it, Desker.
Yeah.
And I used to have a standing desk back in the day, and I really loved it, but it wasn't like an electronic one that like you just press a button and it would raise or lower. And I was like really tempted to look it up online, like Desker, and like look at their products. But then I was like, no, I can't fall into this again. I can't do it. I can't be that person that keeps buying like K-drama product placements. That was a particularly bad one though. I thought that was tasteless because it didn't like no subtlety whatsoever. It was basically like the subway of this show.
It was, yeah. How about the cameo at the end?
Bro,
With
Yeojin-gu from Beyond
Yeojin-gu.
Evil, Crowned Clown, Hotel del Luna.
Del Luna.
He had a really good cameo.
And he was
like
the
that.
voice.
What do you mean?
Of the virtual assistant.
Shut up!
Yeah.
Shut up!
The whole time.
No!
Yeah.
No way!
Yeah, go listen back. Listen back. So Good Boy's like, I like your voice. You remember that line? And it seems so random, right?
Stop it! I get it. I'm blushing because I'm turning red right now because I had no idea that. Oh my God, it makes so much sense. Crap.
So that's a good little fun fact.
Oh wow.
Someone showed me. I didn't find that, Maya. Someone showed me.
You're like, I can't take credit for that one, but
YouTube had that.
oh
one,
wow,
yeah.
that's a great one though. Damn.
We're digging deep.
Damn. It's like basically like Vision showing up in Marvel after you've heard like Jarvis the
Yeah.
whole time. Like
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
exactly what they did here.
Exactly.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I think I like the ending where he says like, if we win the bid, I'll propose.
Yeah.
It hits all the right things for me, like personally in a romance drama.
But then they show the wedding in like snapshots on his desk.
They showed snapshots of the wedding and like
they couldn't afford a wedding. Come on, Netflix. You got $50 million in this
I
thing.
think
Can't show
did they have 50 mil?
I don't know. I just made that
Oh,
up.
okay. I thought
No.
you had. Okay,
probably
okay, sorry.
not. Probably not. No.
But yeah, they showed the wedding in snapshots, and I don't think I hated it, but I was like, okay,
It's a little cheap.
it's a little cheap, but okay. Yeah.
Like spend the extra $1,000 to make a wedding set. Or something. Yeah.
And actually, they showed that in basically every episode had a mid-credit scene, like an epilogue scene. And I am so terrible. I didn't realize that they had those scenes until more than halfway through the show. When I was like on my phone or something while the show was still playing, like the credits. And I was typing something, and then all of a sudden, like another, like the epilogue scene comes on, and I was like, "Oh shit, has this been happening the whole show? Damn, I gotta go back and watch these." I never did, but like I think I got only a few episodes, and I was like, "This is so great. Why didn't I stick around before? Like they should give us a warning."
No, see, my wife will watch all the way through the preview for the next one. I don't like doing
really?
that.
Yeah, no, I don't like doing that unless it's like a terrible cliffhanger. And I have to go to bed, then I'll stick around and watch the preview.
Well, they'll always throw the red herring at you, though.
They will, yeah.
So I don't like watching it. They always tease you.
Yeah, I don't do it anymore, but yeah, I just didn't realize that they had those little epilogue scenes. I feel like a terrible K-drama watcher because I was literally like shocked. I was like, oh my God, this is important too. It's not even like a little like, throwaway thing. It was like a major thing that they showed in the epilogue. So anyway, we got the wedding photos in the epilogue for the last episode.
Yeah.
Boo. I'll tell you one thing that really made me really emotional in the final episode was Do-san's dad taking the Samsung text sign and hanging it up in the family room because earlier he had like crushed up the whole mathematics win plaque or whatever that he had. I mean, it looked like foam core, but whatever. He smashed it to pieces because he got so mad that he admitted that he was a cheater. He's a faker all this time. So he replaced it with like a real accomplishment. And I was like, I was just very, because he's still proud of him. And I think that was a subtle way, not subtle because it's a freaking neon sign, but subtle to mean that the dad is very proud of him and his accomplishments. And even if Samsung Tech is no more, it's still such a milestone in his life. So yeah, it was good.
That guy's in every show too. He's in While You Were Sleeping. He's a big role in While You Were Sleeping.
I think I've come to the end of my notes. Did you have anything else that you wanted to say about Startup?
Well, no, not really. I just wish they had, stepped up the Cyrano de Bergerac, kind of theme, and then give Good Boy some ammo, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was firing blanks the whole time.
Help the brother out. Yeah, because his arc, he started the show crying in Grandma's arms, and he ended the show crying. It's like his arc, it didn't go anywhere. He's just crying in Grandma's arms.
I don't think he learned anything, and I don't think Grandma learned anything. I don't think.
I mean, maybe he got some stocks out of it. He got some stock in Dosan Company.
I mean, he's a multi-millionaire in my mind. Like, he's doing very well for himself, and I mean, it was nice that I guess at the end of the day he finally invested in their company, not out of charity, but sincerely because he found it worthwhile to invest. It was a nice prospect for him.
He was going to make some money.
He was going to make something on it. And I was like, okay, I guess that's full circle for him because he was like berating them the whole show and like he wouldn't invest. And
yeah. And he said, I'm actually investing because I think you have a good product.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
he didn't go anywhere.
He didn't go anywhere. Like he didn't really grow.
Boy.
Good boy didn't grow. A lot of the side characters didn't grow. G-Ma didn't grow. I just think the central couple kind of landed in a different spot than where they started, and they became like a power couple. Like that epilogue, they were like walking down with like the lighting like on them. They're like silhouettes and stuff, and I was like, damn, power couple.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah, that's all I got. It was a very good show to me. I would highly recommend it. And
did you give a rating? I don't think you gave your rating.
Crap! I didn't get my rating. I gave it a 4 out of 5 soju bottles. See, so again, right on par with your wife's assessment. Yeah, I'm right there.
You got to compare notes. You should have had her on. Then it'd be a love fest.
Oh my God, we would just been gushing the whole time. No, it's nice when like we kind of disagree because. So, I mean, you brought up great points, and it kind of changes a little bit how I feel about certain aspects. And I do feel like they did Kim Seon-Ho's Han Ji-pyeon wrong because they could have really written him to be an even better second male lead. Even as he was like the mean ass guy that he was, people were standing him super hard, and they wanted So Dam-mi to get with him instead of Nam Joo-Hyuk's Do-san.
Yeah. But it's an easy watch, It
plays.
So if there's times when you're not in the mood for a zombie or something heavy.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't want to think too much. You don't have to think too much of this drama. Even though we broke it down, I mean, you don't have to. You could just watch this and enjoy the faces, just look at beautiful people, talk to each other,
Say the mantras, like, it'd be wonderful to sail off without a map. Let's sail off without a map. Let's wish on a rainbow. Like, it's just,
it's easy. It's an easy, comfortable watch. I do wish TVN would shorten their episodes a little bit.
It was a little bit over an hour each episode,
80
right?
80 minutes. Yeah, they're going every time. But a lot of times I feel like we could say, oh, if this was better if it was only 8 episodes. What do you think? Would you have shortened this up?
No, I wouldn't have shortened it. I just would have rewritten bits of it. But I wouldn't have shortened it. And I really liked the pacing of it. It felt very comfortable. I don't think there were saggy bits. I just think that and I had a well-placed time jump too, because it wasn't like right at the very end of the show, like time jump. I think that's really hard to like wrap it up quickly. It feels rushed when you have a time jump in the very last episode or so. Yeah. But in this case, they did it kind of early, and it was a meaningful 3 years as well, because early on she was telling her mom, give me 3 years and I'll outdo Inje, the sister. And then lo and behold, their time jump is exactly 3 years. And she gives her the $10 at the end, like the sister gives her $10. It's good. It's like a nice, well-rounded sort of show. And if you're looking for a lot of the puzzle pieces to fit, I think that this is good. This is a good show for that. Definitely room for improvement, though. Like, you really brought some good points to this.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
Would you rate this higher than like Chloe, or?
I would, only because Chloe is like so preposterous. I can't some people really love Chloe. I'm not one of those people. I feel like it's very, very good, but not like greatest of all time. And maybe I'll get some flack for this. I don't think it's like greatest of all time.
Yeah, so now you're disagreeing with my wife. My wife
really. Yeah,
Chloe's
I get it. And I appreciate Chloe for like how many new K-drama watchers it brought into the fold, because that was another pandemic era show where people were like stuck inside and then they like saw Chloe come up on their Netflix and they were like, let's play this. We got nothing to do.
Right.
And it like changed people's lives. And we have fans now that weren't here before Chloe.
Yeah.
So
entry gateway drama.
It's a gateway drama, and I appreciate that about it. And same with Squid Game, although I think I love Squid Game more than Chloe.
Yeah, okay.
Fighting words, I know, but that's fine. I like it. I really do. I don't necessarily feel like it's rewatchable, but I mean, people disagree with that too. Like, I know people really love Chloe and they can put it on whenever they feel like it.
Yeah, I liked While You Were Sleeping better than this, so I would put that above this.
See, you're like the 20th person to say that While You Were Sleeping is really good. I think I have to watch While You Were Sleeping. I like completely skipped it.
Second lead syndrome, hardcore. In that
people
one.
saying that too. Yeah. The second lead syndrome in that. I think that's Jonghae.
Jonghae.
I love Jonghae too.
Yeah, everyone loves him.
Okay, I gotta watch it. I just gotta bite the bullet and watch While You Were Sleeping. That's 2017.
Your format's crazy, dude. You do a whole series every week.
Bro, I know.
No one does that. No
really?
one does that. Every week? No way.
I mean, I can't say that I watch a whole drama inside a week. That's not how it happens. But it's definitely a bit of a marathon every week. But
yeah, you're going hardcore.
I pretty much go very hard every week. So again, if you guys want to support the show, please do, because reward me for all the hard work and the guests, because every guest rewatches or watches the show for the first time, and it's like 16 to 20 hours of television. That's like not a little bit of like homework that I'm giving you guys when I ask.
These are podcast legends. You're not me, but you're having some podcast legends on.
Yeah, it's good. Anyway, thank you so much for coming on the show. This was a fantastic episode, full of ups and downs.
Right. Like the startup world.
Startup world. We started something here. I hope you had a good time and are willing to come back. And
of course.
Hopefully I won't give you like so much homework, because it was like a little over an hour for each episode. So it was more than 16 hours of television. But
no, we were happy to watch. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And I'm so glad your wife loved it too. It's like positive.
Yeah.
That like your partner was like, this is amazing. And then you had to come in and be like, I don't know, it was pretty good.
I always kill it for her. She's like, just go away. She's gushing. I'm like, why did they do this? Why did they do that? And she gets so mad at me.
Oh,
You're ruining it.
You're ruining it. Don't ruin it.
Go away. Yeah.
Well, I think I spoke for all the people who really love Startup. So I think it was a good mix. Before we get out of here, I want to thank you again for coming on the show, Curtis. Where can we find you online?
I'm basically Instagram at the Infatuasian Podcast. I don't have a website per se. And then you can find me on most podcast applications like Spotify and Apple Podcasts. You know where to find it.
Yeah. All right. Give them a follow. Give them a listen, please. Infatuasian Podcast. Great podcast from Mr. Curtis over here from the Silicon Valley. I thought it was such a good fit, man. I was like, oh, God, Silicon Valley, San Fran. It's perfect.
Yeah. If only I had a yacht.
If only I had a yacht, I would live. I would finally live. All right. I think we're going to get out of here. That's been our show. I'm Jessica, and this has been the ATC Presents Daebak K-Rambles Podcast.